Let me ask you something. What happens when the applause stops, when the crowd disappears, when the support vanishes? Can you still stand? Can you still push forward when the world isn't cheering for you? See, everybody loves to talk about success, about greatness, about being the best. But what they don't tell you is that before every champion is crowned, there is a season of loneliness, a season where you wake up every morning and it's just you and your dreams. No validation, no approval, just you, your grind, and your purpose. And that's where most people break. That's where most people give up, because they're looking around waiting for someone to tell them it's okay to keep going. But let me tell you something. The strongest warriors are not the ones who fight when the world is watching. They are the ones who keep swinging, keep grinding, keep believing, even when no one sees them. So today, I need you to understand something deep in your soul. Standing alone is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that you're being prepared for something greater. If you can't stand alone, you can't stand at all. If you can't fight for yourself in the dark, you'll never last in the light. So stay with me, don't move. Because by the time we're done, you'll never see isolation the same way again. One, loneliness is a test, not a sentence. When you find yourself alone, it's not punishment, it's preparation. The most powerful people in the world had to go through a season of isolation before they were ready to lead. It's in those moments where you feel unseen that you are truly being shaped. 2, your strength is built in isolation. The gym is empty before the champion is crowned. The late night study sessions come before the degree. The endless hours of work come before the breakthrough. Stop waiting for people to show up before you give your best. 3, that's conviction over crowd approval. If you need people to clap for you before you move, you'll never move when the world turns silent. Your conviction must be stronger than your need for approval. 4, pain produces power. You think greatness comes easy? You think the best in the world got there because it was convenient? No. They went through pain, sacrifice, and struggle alone. And they kept going because they knew that every moment of hardship was shaping them for something bigger. 5, the discipline over distraction. Right now, you're alone, and that means you have a choice. Waste your time looking for validation or use your time to become unstoppable. 6, popularity. Das the popularity. Let the world ignore you. Let them overlook you. It doesn't matter, because when your purpose is bigger than your popularity, you become untouchable. Seminar. You don't stop because it's tough. You don't quit because it's lonely. You move because your purpose demands it. 8, silence strengthens the mind. If you can't handle your own thoughts, you're in trouble. The greatest battles are won in the mind before they're won in the world. Eindort faith in the death. Do you believe in yourself when no one else does? Because that's the difference between those who make it and those who don't. 10, victory is personal before it's public. Success doesn't start when people notice you. It starts when you decide in your heart that no matter what, you will not break, you will not quit, and you will not stop. So now the question is, can you stand strong even when you're alone? Can you show up when no one is watching? Can you grind when no one is clapping? Can you believe in yourself when the world walks away? Because the truth is, the world will test you. It will leave you alone to see if you have what it takes. And when that moment comes, you better be ready. You better be the one who doesn't need permission to be great. You better be the one who refuses to give up, even when it's just you. Because if you can stand alone, then you can stand through anything. And when you come out on the other side, stronger, sharper, unbreakable, that's when the world will have no choice but to stand for you. Standing strong, even when you're alone, because that's what champions are made. When you find yourself alone, it's not punishment, it's preparation. Too many people think loneliness is a sign that something is wrong, that they're not good enough, that they've been forgotten. But that's a lie. The truth is, when you're alone, that's when life is testing you. It's asking, how bad do you really want it? See, everybody loves the idea of success, of greatness, of being at the top. But what they don't talk about is the road to get there. That road, it's lonely. That journey, it's quiet. It's full of nights where you question everything, where no one calls to check on you, where you feel like the world moved on without you. And that's exactly where most people break, but not you. Because if you're in that season, if you're in that place where it's just you and your dreams, that's not the end. It's the beginning. That's where your strength is built. That's where your character is tested. That's where the world is watching in silence, waiting to see if you'll keep pushing when no one is looking. The truth is, greatness doesn't come when the crowd is cheering. It comes when you have every reason to quit, but you don't. It comes when you show up day after day with no validation, no approval, no recognition, just pure, relentless commitment to the vision you believe in. So don't fear being alone. Don't run from the silence. Embrace it. Because when you pass this test, when you prove that you don't need the noise to keep going, that's when you become unstoppable. Your strength is not built when everyone is around, hyping you up, telling you that you can do it. No, your strength is built when it's just you, your grind, and your willingness to keep pushing forward. Look at the greatest athletes, the best entrepreneurs, the most successful people in the world. Their defining moments didn't happen under the bright lights. They happened in the unseen hours, when the gym was empty, when the office was silent, when the world was sleeping, and they were still working. See, most people only give their best when someone is watching. They only go hard when there's an audience, when the pressure is on, when they know people are paying attention. But the real champions, the ones who last, they don't need an audience. They don't need a stage. They don't need validation, because they understand one thing. Who you are when no one is watching is who you really are. If you only work hard when someone is checking in on you, you're not really working. If you only stay disciplined when there's accountability, you're not really disciplined. Strength is built in the moments where quitting is the easiest option, but you choose to keep going anyway. So if you're in a season where you feel alone, where no one is pushing you, where it's just you and your goals, this is your moment. This is where the real work happens. This is where you separate yourself from the ones who only show up when it's easy. Because when the moment comes, when the opportunity arrives, when the world finally sees you, it won't be a surprise. You'll be ready. Because you put in the work when no one was looking. If you need people to clap for you before you move, you never move when the world turns silent. Too many people live their lives chasing approval, waiting for someone to say you got this before they take the first step. But let me tell you something. If you rely on the crowd, you'll never be in control of your own destiny. There will be days when no one believes in you. There will be moments when the people you thought would support you disappear. And if your confidence is built on their validation, you'll crumble the second they walk away. That's why you can't base your actions on the opinions of others. You can't let their applause determine your pace. You have to move because you believe, because you know deep down that what you're doing matters. Every great leader, every successful person had a moment where they had to stand alone, where they had to keep going despite the doubt, despite the critics, despite the silence. And that's what made them unstoppable. They didn't need permission to be great. They didn't wait for the world to agree with them before they took action. So ask yourself, are you moving because you believe in yourself or because you need someone else to believe first? Because if you wait for the world to cheer you on, you might be waiting forever. But if you move with conviction, if you stand firm in your vision, eventually the world won't have a choice but to take notice. You think greatness comes easy? You think the best in the world got there because it was convenient? No, they went through pain, sacrifice, and struggle alone, and they kept going because they knew that every moment of hardship was shaping them for something bigger. Pain is not your enemy. It's your training ground. Every struggle, every setback, every moment of doubt is an opportunity. See, most people run from pain. They want the reward without the sacrifice. They want the success without the suffering. But that's not how this works. If you're feeling pain, if you're struggling, that means you're growing. That means you're leveling up. Think about it. When you lift weights, the muscle has to tear before it gets stronger. When you train, your body has to feel resistance before it improves. It's the pain that makes you better. So why would life be any different? Why would success come without discomfort? The difference between those who make it and those who don't is simple. Some people see pain as a reason to quit, while others see it as proof that they're on the right path. So when life hits you, when you feel like you're at your breaking point, don't ask, why me? Ask, what is this teaching me? Because every struggle is making you stronger, every obstacle is preparing you, and every moment of pain is molding you into the person you were meant to be. Keep pushing, keep fighting, because pain is not the end. It's the beginning of something greater. Right now, you're alone, and that means you have a choice. Waste your time looking for validation or use your time to become unstoppable. See, most people fold when there's no one watching. They get distracted, they slack off, they make excuses, but the ones who win, the ones who separate themselves from the pack, they stay locked in no matter what. They don't need an audience. They don't need someone to hold them accountability. Their discipline is their accountability. Because here's the truth, success is built in private, but revealed in public. The work you put in when no one is around is what determines what they see when the lights come on. So if you're only grinding when someone's keeping track, you're not really grinding. If you only give effort when the pressure is on, you're setting yourself up to fail. You got dreams, you got goals, and right now no one cares about them as much as you do. That's why you have to stay focused, stay disciplined, and stay committed even when there's no one there to remind you. The distractions will always be there. The question is, will you be strong enough to ignore them? Will you be the one who stays on track when everyone else is wasting time? Will you be the one who sacrifices now so you can dominate later? Because discipline isn't about motivation, it's about commitment. And the ones who stay committed, even when no one is watching, are the ones who walk away with the prize. Let the world ignore you. Let them overlook you. It doesn't matter. Because when your purpose is bigger than your popularity, you become untouchable. Too many people waste their potential chasing attention. They want the likes, the followers, the applause. But here's the truth. If you're chasing approval, you're already losing. The people who are truly great don't spend their time trying to be liked. They spend their time getting better, grinding in silence, building something real. Because purpose and popularity don't always go hand in hand. Sometimes your purpose will require you to walk alone. Sometimes it'll mean being misunderstood. It'll mean people doubting you, questioning you, not seeing the vision that's so clear to you. And if you let that stop you, if you let their opinions shake you, then you were never really committed in the first place. Think about the greatest minds, the biggest game changers in history. They weren't the most popular at first. They weren't always celebrated, but they didn't care because they weren't working for applause. They were working for impact. So ask yourself, are you doing this because it looks good or because it means something to you? Are you chasing clout or are you chasing purpose? Because when you move with purpose, when you stand firm in your mission, no amount of silence, doubt, or rejection can stop you. Forget the spotlight. Forget the approval. Lock in on your purpose and let your results do the talking. You don't stop because it's tough. You don't quit because it's lonely. You move because your purpose demands it. Every day isn't going to be easy. There will be days when you feel drained, when you wonder if it's even worth it, when you feel like you've given everything you have and still haven't reached your goal. Those are the days that will define you. Those are the moments where most people give up, when they decide that it's too hard and they walk away. But let me tell you something. Those are the moments that separate the winners from the quitters. The real difference between those who make it and those who don't is this. The winners keep moving forward, even when it's hard, even when it's painful, even when they don't feel like it. When you find yourself questioning whether it's worth it, remember this. Your dreams won't achieve themselves. Your goals won't magically come to you. They require relentless action. They require you to show up even when it's hard. They require you to keep pushing even when it feels like there's no end in sight. Don't let the tough moments break you. Don't let the setbacks define your story. Every step you take when it's hard is a step closer to your victory. And when you finally reach that breakthrough, you'll look back and realize that all those difficult moments were the building blocks of your success. So don't stop. Keep moving because the struggle is temporary, but the success you're building is forever. If you can't handle your own thoughts, you're in trouble. The greatest battles are won in the mind before they're won in the world. When you're alone, when it's just you and no one is around to influence you, that's when your true character shows up. Your thoughts will either lift you up or tear you down. When the world is silent, the noise inside your head can be deafening. The self-doubt, the fears, the questions of whether or not you're good enough, they all surface when no one is watching. But here's the truth. You are the only one who can control what stays in your mind. The power of silence is that it forces you to face your own thoughts. It forces you to confront your fears and beliefs head on. It's easy to look for distractions when there's noise around you. But when everything goes quiet, your mind will either become your greatest ally or your worst enemy. The people who win are the ones who learn to control their thoughts. They don't let the negative voices drown out their purpose. They don't let self-doubt sabotage their progress. Instead, they train their minds to focus on what matters, to believe in their potential, and to keep moving forward despite the fear. You have to master your mind before you can master anything else. Your mind is the foundation of your strength. If you can stay positive, stay focused, and keep pushing through the mental battles, you will always find a way to succeed. So, take control of your thoughts. Refuse to let negativity dictate your actions, because when you own your mind, you own your future. Do you believe in yourself when no one else does? Because that's the difference between those who make it and those who don't. It's easy to have faith in yourself when everyone around you is supporting you. It's easy when your friends are cheering you on, when your family is telling you that you're going to make it. But what happens when they're not there? What happens when the world turns its back on you? When the people you thought would stand by you disappear? That's when your true belief is tested. Real faith isn't about believing in yourself when everything is easy. It's about believing in yourself when the world is telling you that you can't. It's about waking up every day, even when no one is rooting for you, and saying, I know what I'm capable of. I know I will make it. I believe in myself no matter what. The strongest people are the ones who continue to push, even when there's no one to cheer them on. They don't need validation. They don't need anyone's approval. They have an unshakable belief that they are destined for greatness. And they hold on to that belief when everything else seems uncertain. If you only believe in yourself when others do, then you'll never have the strength to keep going when the world turns its back on you. You have to believe in yourself, even in the silence. You have to trust that you are capable of achieving what you set out to do, regardless of the doubts, the setbacks, or the critics. Faith in yourself is what keeps you going when no one else is watching, when no one else is supporting you, and that faith is the fuel that will carry you through every obstacle. Success doesn't start when people notice you. It starts when you decide in your heart that no matter what, you will not break, you will not quit, and you will not stop. Victory is personal before it's public. You see, everyone celebrates the outcome, but they forget about the relentless journey that got you there. The days of doubt, the nights of uncertainty, the moments when you felt like throwing in the towel. That's where the real victory is won. In the quiet, unseen moments when you choose not to give up. Understand this. No one sees the sacrifice, the early mornings, the late nights, the hustle that goes unnoticed. But it doesn't matter. What matters is that you keep moving forward even when it feels like no one is watching. Because success isn't just about what you achieve. It's about who you become in the process. When you refuse to quit, when you push through the pain, when you rise above the doubt, that's when you win. And when the world finally sees you, when your breakthrough comes, they won't see the struggle. They'll only see the result of your perseverance, your commitment, and your refusal to stop. So remember this. The real victory is earned in private, in the moments where you're tested the most, and when you emerge on the other side, stronger, more resilient, and unbreakable. That's when the world will know your name. Stand firm. Keep moving forward. Victory is yours, and it begins the moment you decide that you will never give up, even when you're standing alone.